Welcome, everybody, to the APIDA Plus Center. My name is Dr. Nina Ha. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the director of the APIDA Plus Center. This is our first learning lunch of the semester? Yeah. Yeah, so this is our first learning lunch of the semester, so very exciting. I am what the learning lunches do is basically it's an informal way for students to actually learn about APIDA faculty and or community members on this campus. When I first started in 2019, one of the sort of suggestions was that students don't know their faculty members very well, and they wanted sort of a space in which they could get to know them, but in a very much more intimate and informal setting like this. And you know, at the APIDA Plus Center, we always like to host events that have food. Food will be coming. But until then, we get to enjoy the company of our featured special guest today. So I am going to ask Dr. T to introduce herself and
Yes.
our prompt for all of the guest speakers or featured speakers are typically, could you please share your personal and professional journey into higher education?
Yes. So my name is Dr. Pitchayaporn Tantihkarnchana. My name is very, very long, so I usually go by Dr. T. So a student will know me by Dr. T. My colleagues will know me by Peach, but I don't really go by Dr. Peach. I used to go by Dr. Peach before, but then student think it's too peachy. So I just go by Dr. T instead. Yeah. But my journey started until I get to here, like it's take a long time. And I would say start in high school. So in my high school, Nina, can you show the slide? So I have some picture for you. I actually looked at the picture yesterday and I was like, did I actually look like this back then? You know, I was trying to find my high school picture and I cannot really find any because all my picture are on Facebook. Do you guys still use Facebook? Some of you was like, not really. Yeah, so these pictures are on my Facebook. So Nina, could you move to the next one? So that's my picture right there. So in high school, I grew up in Thailand. I'm from Bangkok, Thailand. And my high school system is that once you go to high school, you have to pick whether you want to do science or you want to do art and languages. So it's not like high school here where you get to explore what you like. You need to know early on, or if you don't know, you just have to pick one. And for me and my parents, they say pick the science one first. So I go for science. Did I pick it? Not really. My parents kind of just pushed me to science. So in high school, I did take chemistry, physics, biology, a lot of math. And of course, my parents is like, be a doctor, because I grew up with a family of everybody have a doctor or like work in the hospital, have a doctor degree. They are all in that field. So I was like, okay, you know what? I will try. If my genetics said so, I'll try it. So I go for biology, and I think one of the class I have to work with the dead animal, like, you know, like the frog on the table, and then you have to look into the frog. And what the teacher told me to do is that go get a live frog at the market. And I was like, what? I saw it in the movie and it's usually dead on the table for you. But in Thailand, I have to go to the market, grab the frog and kill it on the table in front of me. So I refuse to do it. I cannot kill any animal. And my friend from another table is like, here, I was like, kill the frog in front of me. And I think when I saw that, I just know like deep down, like this is not for me. Like, I don't think I can kill anything. Like I was going to be a veterinarian. I really want to because I like animal, until I learned that I also have to kill them too. So like I just tell myself, okay, this is not my area. So that's how I know going into science that, okay, doctor, bye-bye. I'm not doing that. And then I tried chemistry and I was like, okay, chemistry I could do. And for physics, it's just something that some of you do so well with physics, but me, it doesn't click with me at all, right? But at that point, high school, I always have a love for learning new culture and wanting to go to the place that I'm so uncomfortable. So I choose to do 1 year exchange student in high. So this is in high school. So still in high school. If you could
Okay.
change it back.
Oh, change
Oh,
it back.
back. Yeah.
Back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is my 1 year I picked to come to the United States. So I was in Sheboygan, Wisconsin for 1 year doing exchange student. And then they put me with the host family. That was my first time living in a different culture for that long. It was 1 year. And the first time I came to Wisconsin, I was like, what the heck is this? Like, where did they put me? It's Sheboygan, okay? It's not Milwaukee, it's not a big city, and I'm from Bangkok, Thailand. And they put me in Sheboygan. So I stay with the host family. My first day in high school in the United States is freaked me out badly. I only see it in the movie where you have a locker, and that's what I always want in life because we don't have locker in Thailand. We have table and room, and we never leave the room. The teacher come to us. But in the United States, you walk to the teacher, you have locker. So I was like, oh my God, I'm living the American dream. That's what I thought. And the reality hit when I I was an exchange student. I can't really speak English at that point. The most I can speak is like, hi, how are you? Where's the bathroom? So like very basic. So I feel like very, very out of place back then. And you know, when you go to high school senior year, everybody already have groups of friends. They already form a group. It's so hard to break in there and kind of like find friend. I'm not sure if you guys have ever had that experience, but that's how I felt. And it was so hard. I think there are part of me where like, will I be able to find friend at all? And I am lucky enough that some of the friends, like I took art class and then I found my people in art class. Yeah, and like people are super nice. They reach out to me, and that's where I find my community. Before, because I'm in a science field, right? I only take, okay, I come to United States, I'm gonna take AP Cal, AP Biology, AP Chemistry, AP Physics. I do math very well. I fail biology real bad. And it's because I don't understand English at all. Like the first time I see the textbook, I was like, what is this? So I failed the class. So that's why I take art class instead. I just tell myself, you know what? I have this one lifetime opportunity. I'm gonna do something that they don't offer in Thailand. So I take art class, choir class, debate class, theater. I'm in the musical show. So I joined like Susico the musical, you know, for Dr. Seuss. Person. And I just joined that. It was a great experience because I would never have that opportunity back in Thailand. So I think before I did my exchange year, I was so scared. I don't have any male friend at all because I'm scared to talk to them. And every time I stand in front of the class, I'm very scared. I'm like shaking. I can't present at all. Um, so after this, it changed my life forever. I become this after that 1 year, not at this extent, but more. Um, so I feel more comfortable about myself and express myself. So that is my high school year. I'm glad I did it, even though when I came back to Thailand, I have to stay home for a year because everybody already go to college. Because we have a different schedule. When you come back, people already go into college. So I pretty much stay home and prep for the college year. So now Oh, wait. I want to show you the cow picture. You see the cow picture right there? So one of my host family own a cow farm. They own like a dairy cheese farm. So I have to help them with the cow. And then they just like, Peach, do you want to stuck your arm in the cow butt? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, it's just like, yeah, there's a calf in there, like little baby in there. Do you want to touch them? I was like, can you? And they just put me on like a big glove and it was like stuck it in there. And I was like, okay, I did. It was warm. Okay. It was during the winter. It was warm in there. It was great. So it was like the best experience. Not the cow thing, but like the whole year was the best experience. They were that. Yeah. So now, yeah, we can move on to the college.
As we transition, I want
Yes.
to make an announcement. Students, if you're hungry, please feel free to grab food. Most of the stuff's laid out. I think some may still be on its way,
Yeah.
but.
Wait, before
Oh.
you do, can make sure Dr. Peach you grab first.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Thank you.
And then you
Yeah.
have that if you want to take.
Oh,
While
I
you're
can have my
waiting for
own
Dr.
purse.
Peach to grab food, if you could just.
Oh, you're
Yes,
so
yes,
kind.
grab a
Grab-
pizza and.
You guys can go ahead and grab it too, no worries.
Thanks, friends.
This looks so good. Yeah, perfect.
Now we gotta make sure our speaker is fed.
Yes, we need to feed the speaker first. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. No.
All right, I'm done. You
Are you
guys
good?
can go.
Grab some more.
Because I will be talking, so
Yeah.
wings and speaking
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
same
but
time,
that's why
there's a
we
little
gave
bit
you the
challenge.
takeout box, so that you can get, you
Oh,
can save it for later.
Let them eat, it's okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No worries.
If you arrived just now, please feel free to grab a pre and post eval sheet. It helps us with our feedback for our program and we really value your input and data so that we can continuously improve. You can just turn it in whenever you're on your way out.
Yeah, wow, there's so many students. Nina, do you need something? I can grab it for you.
No, I'm good.
Yeah. I'll go get the fork and spoon.
Yeah.
Oh, I have water here. Thank
But
you.
there's also Kool-Aid or.
How are you? I still don't see you around the neighborhood. You still in the neighborhood, right?
No, you're fine. So, do you have a favorite picture out of all of it? Or is it the house? Is it the most memorable?
I love the.
I'm sorry, you just make sure
They are the host family.
to
Yeah, I
notice
I
when things
still
are.
contact them. I went to their wedding. They have 3 kids now. I'm still. It's really nice. They are the best people.
Cool that you were able to connect with the host family in the US.
Yeah, yeah, we are very close. I still talk to them. Yeah. Super
Do you
nice.
still visit?
Mhm. Yeah, like last year I went to Seattle for their wedding. Yeah.
So I guess in the beginning, but is that just like, how did you hear about that opportunity? Was that a normalized thing or did you go out of the way to really like break your own path?
Oh yeah, so I heard like it's not part of the high school thing, like they don't talk about it in high school. But I heard from like news that they have this AFS, American Field Service Program. So that's how I know about it and I apply. Yeah.
Let's record and then I'm gonna share screen again.
Oh, Kai is here too.
We are.
I wonder if Kai is my student. Yeah. Kai, if you are my student, click thumbs up.
Okay, college, yeah? Do we go to
Yes,
college? Right here? How
Yeah.
that work? Okay.
Okay, so.
The presentation form, high school,
Yeah,
college.
all right.
Okay,
Mhm.
so fast forward to college.
My life in college now.
Okay.
So after high school, do I know what I want to do? No. Do I know where I'm going to be? No. Do you know my future career? No. Do I know anything? No. What do I know, right? What do I know is that for the traditional pattern, high school, then college. So that's all I know. So I was like, okay, I need to get into college. Now the next question is which department, right? And like I say, at least now I know not biology, not veterinarian, not dentist, right? And I was like, okay, I like art. So I was actually going to architecture, and I also like communication because after my exchange year in United States, I was like, I can do this. Yeah, so I applied to the communication, architecture, and then I got accepted into both. And once I go to that orientation, I talk to a lot of people, and because in Thailand the culture is different, it's very hard to get a job in the communication world if you don't have a big connection. And I have no connection at all. So I was like, okay, I want to find something that is very broad and it would definitely get me a job. So then I do a little bit of research and I found out, well, economics is the way to go. What do I know about economics at that point? Demand and supply, and that's it. Do I know how to draw demand and supply graph? Not really. I just heard about demand and supply, and that's all. So like my life is very, like there's no trajectory whatsoever. It's just high school, then college. So this is what my university looks like. It's very beautiful. And we have kings and queens in Thailand, and the I think the king, or maybe I think, is it the princess? I think the princess went here. Yeah, if I remember correctly. Yeah, but if you could move to the next one. All right, so I'm brave enough to show me my first year college picture. So if you look at my second picture right there, look at my hairstyle. That's the university uniform. So in Thailand, you need to wear uniform even when you are at the university. So the whole 4 year, you wear uniform, but each year the uniform is a little different. So first year you dress like that, but second, third, and fourth year you can dress some like with other uniforms, so people know that you are no longer a freshman. But that was my first day at college. And then like I go to economics, I go into economics. Do I know what type of economics I like? Do I like economics? No. Do I like economics at all? I was like, no. And I go into the international program. I get part of the scholarship from there. So I was like, okay, I'll try this. So again, my most fear, English textbook. Everything is in English. And as you know, I failed the biology class because it's all in English. So I was like, you know what? This time I'm gonna do it. I have to do it. So I just go through textbook, open the dictionary, right? Do that. And it's challenging, but I think it's worth it at the end. So I go into the international program. I have group of friends, and I think first year I still don't really know what I'm doing. I just like a typical student who just like lost. So you just pretty much go to school, do homework, take exam, go home. I do that for about 2 years until I get to a third year when I start having an elective course. They have like a development, like economics development class, international trade class, that when I start taking those classes, and I was like, oh my God, this is so interesting because I love traveling. I love different culture. And I feel like going into the international trade and economics of development kind of opened my eyes towards what other countries looks like and how do they trade with each other. So it's really related to what I'm interested in. So that's when it's piqued my interest into economics for real, from my own personal interest and not just because I have to do it. So that's when it changed my trajectory. And then on my third year, this is another big step for me because I choose to apply to do another exchange student semester, but this time I picked Italy. So I was in Milan at the Bocconi University for 7 months, and I was there. And it was great. Like this is the picture of like my dorm. So I stay with other student there, and it was the best experience. If you ask me, can I speak Italian? I used to be able to speak a little bit, but after how many years now? Almost 20 years, it's kind of gone. It's kind of gone. But that was such a big experience for me because I get to know so many different people from so many different countries. I got a lifelong friend. So after I got back from Italy, do I know what I want to do now? At least I know that, okay, I'm interested in economics, international or development. And during those times, like in Thailand, you have a program where you go to the rural area and help the rural people. So I joined those group. I go out in the rural area of Thailand. I built the house. I built the hospital. I teach little kids when I was there, and I found out that I really like doing this. Like I like something that I don't have to be always in front of the computer, but I get to interact with people. So I know that like that's what I want to do, right? But after I graduate, I still like don't really know exactly what career I want. I'm still lost. So some of you who already have your goals, great. Like you're so lucky you already found it. But for some of you who still like floating around and just, yeah, still take my life easy, right? That is normal. I just want to say that. And so after I graduate from college, what happened next now is that, again, what am I gonna do next? Do I get a job or go to graduate school? And I did an internship with like a credit card company. I stay in the cubicle and I know that like I hate it. I don't want to be in a cubicle. I want to do something that I actually get to interact with people. And not sure why graduate school came up. Like I don't know why I think that graduate school mean interact with a lot of people because you're gonna do a lot of research. So if you could move on to the next one. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna go to graduate school. Now my next choice is that, okay, where is the graduate school that I want to go to, right? There's so many graduate school in the United States. Like I picked the United States because I've been to the United States before. I know the culture, so I feel more comfortable. I picked graduate school in Washington State University. And some of you might be like, where is that, right? It's not Washington, D.C. It's not the Seattle, Washington, but it's the Washington right next to Idaho. So like in the rural area where they grow a lot of potato, a lot of pelouse, like this is what the campus looked like. Out of nowhere, smaller than Blacksburg. Okay, smaller than Blacksburg. So why do I pick that? A lot of people pick university from ranks and how famous it is and prestigious. Me, I pick where there's hiking trail and there's places for me to relax after I got so stressed with PhD. Like because for me, I just think like my mental health is very important. So if anything goes wrong with PhD, I need to be able to go out and relax, go kayaking or hiking. Yeah. And so that is where I go for the West Coast. And I go to Washington State University. If you could move to the next slide. As you can see, my campus have grizzly bear on campus. So every time I got stressed, I walk to the grizzly bear and I just look at the, I talk to the grizzly bear. I was like, how are you today? It's rough. It's rough. Yeah. And like that's my apartment. So I don't have a bed. I just leave like I don't have like a actual bed. I just put a futon on the floor. And that was like my life in PhD. Yeah. And I think when I first do graduate school, I was like, well, how different could it be from undergrad? I mean, I'm a good undergrad student. I'm a good one. And I was like, I'll be fine. No, I was not. I was not fine. The first year I was crying. I think it's just something that is so different. Like for economics, you used to do a lot of math, like the actual number. And once it turned into graduate school, all the numbers are gone and turn into symbols. And I was like, where are the number? Bring it back. Why are these symbols just all over the place? And I just really stressed and it was tough. And having friend during that time is like the most important thing because for a PhD, I feel like you cannot do homework alone, ever, ever. You need a group of friends to like brainstorm and do homework with you, right? And so the first year, I just do a normal thing, study, homework, exam, study, homework, exam, right? And then the second year, going to a second year, you have to take the exam. It's called, for my department, it's called a core exam. So it's more like if you cannot pass that, you got kicked out. And if you pass that, you can continue your suffer. So I move on to the second year, and that's when they're starting to ask you, what is your research question? Think about the research, right? And so I go into PhD, I thought, yeah, I can do research. How hard could it be? Right. The hardest part is to come up with the question. Like, I think what I trained for since undergrad is to solve problem. I'm very good at solving problems. But I feel like what we need is to be able to create the problem. Yeah, and I think that's what I lacked when I was a PhD student. So coming up with the question for research is very challenging. Yeah, like if you give me problem, I'll solve it for you. But if you ask me come up with the question, I struggle, right? So that's what I struggle with the most. And then I try my best. I read a lot of, talk to a lot of advisor, right? And then I start questioning myself, like, am I even good for this PhD program, right? Should I even continue my PhD? Like, do I even like research? And then like doing research, you get to do RA, you do research assistant. And after a lot of research assistant, I found out, nope, research is not for me. And it is okay to actually say it out loud that like you are in PhD and you freaking hate your research. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I'm not alone. I'm not alone in this world. I just want to be blunt to you that some of my friends love research. They have bed in their office and they do research Saturday and Sunday. Me, I'm out Saturday, Sunday hiking. Okay. So I found out that I do not like research. I talked to my advisor. Is there any other job for PhD that you don't have to do research? And they gave me the opportunity, like thankful for my graduate school, they gave me the opportunity to teach. So they let me teach in the summer first, which is a 50 student class. So I tried teaching and I was like, you know what? This is actually fun because you remember I like interacting. I like talking to students. So that's when I start and I felt like this is it. I think I'm going somewhere that I really like. And so 50 students, they think that I did very well. So they was like, hey, Peach, you want to continue teaching? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, is it 50 students? And I was like, no, 200. I was like, oh, okay, bring it on, right? So my second semester that I teach is a 200 student. So it's in a big auditorium. And as you remember in high school, I have a big straight fight, right? So with the 50 student, it's okay. I feel like I can still contain myself, but 200 students, you talk in front of them for 1 hour and 15 minutes, 200 students for the first time. And you're just like, oh my God, what am I doing? So what I do is that I treat all these students as dots. It's like, it's just dot A, dot B, dot C, just all the dots in the world. And then these dots just listening to me. Okay. So that's what I did. I survived my first semester. I found out I really liked it. So my future semester, they asked me, do you want to do research or teaching? I just like, I'm going to focus on teaching now. I know that research is not my way. And I realized that with research, it hurt my mental health so much. I feel like for PhD, you just have to be mentally strong. Like, you don't have to be the best at what you do, but you have to be mentally strong. Like you have to be able to go through and don't give up and keep going. And so I keep doing the TA teaching and gain more experience. And then I realized if I don't do research, I can't graduate. And if I can't graduate, then I cannot be a professor and teach at the university. So I was like, all right, I guess I have to do research now. So my fourth year, I think that was like the toughest year. For those of you who passed the PhD or doing the PhD right now, I think you might be in the same boat. Or if you're not in the same boat, good for you. That's great. Yeah, but for me, I think that was like my year that I questioned myself the most. I was almost buying a ticket just to go back home and never come back. I questioning myself, why am I here? Why am I doing PhD? I could have like I see my friend live and they were having jobs, working, having fun, and I'm here just like crying in my office. And I'm telling you, if you cry doing PhD, you're coming in the right direction. It's okay to cry. If you don't cry, that's weird, okay? So if you cry, that is totally normal. I mean, I talked to my friend and they all cry, but they just close the door, so I never see them. That's what they told me. But I think at the end, like my last semester, that was the roughest because I got a job already. I applied for a job. I got a job. The only thing I need to do is to graduate. But then my research, the result came out and it doesn't go the way I wanted. I gave my research to my professor and my professor said, this is trash. And then she throw it in the trash can. Oh. And it just like, it just, I don't know, it's break my heart. Talking about it made me want to cry because I still remember that day and every single word she said to me. And I just told her like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go home. And like, I call my parents, I call everyone, like, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. Yeah. And I think I just need time to like actually sit down. So I just sit down and give myself, go hiking. I'll go hiking. And I just think about it. And I just think about the benefit and cost because in economics, they always benefit and cost. So I just think about, okay, what's the cost of this? What's the benefit of quitting or not quitting? And I was like, okay, you know what? Let's just put all my heart and soul into this project for 3 months. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And so I just put all my heart and soul into this paper. And I talked to my advisor like, hey, I just want to let you know after I graduate, I don't want to be the professor who do research. I want to focus on teaching. Yeah, I just learned that nowadays they start having the professor who focusing on teaching and not focusing on research. Because there are research professor who rather doing research and not teach. And there's also a professor like me who like teaching so much and want to focus on teaching, right? So I told my advisor about my intention on what I want to do after graduate, and she's like, okay, I got you. So I finished that dissertation, and then at the end, like once they say pass, I was crying, like ball crying during the presentation. At the end, I went back to my office. I cried too. My friend was like, did you fail? I was like, no, I passed. But I was so happy I cried. Yeah, so it's like a lot of crying during PhD. Yeah, but then I get to move to yeah. So I got a job, and then my first job was at Penn State. So I was at Penn State for 6 years teaching there. And because I have taught before, I'm thankful for Washington State University to give me like a teaching experience because the application asks for like you have to teach and you need to be able to teach large class. So I specialize in teaching large class. And that's how I get hired there. And I teach at Penn State for 6 years. After that, I moved to Virginia Tech in 2022. And these are all my students, not all, but this is just from this semester. Yeah, and a little bit from last semester. So now I teach principle of economics, and you took me, right? Macroeconomics, first year experience class, international trade class. But each semester I have about 700 students total. And I loved it. Not the email part, but I love teaching and interact with the student. Yeah, I mean, the email is a lot. It's overwhelming, given that I have 700 students. But I love how I get to interact with students, and I see so many students throughout my career, and not all of them. Some of them say hi to me at Kroger or rock climbing, and they just like, do I know you? And I was like, do I know you? And we just kind of talk and catch up. So it's really cute. Yeah. So I really enjoy being here at Virginia Tech. The community is great. What Dr. Ha is doing right now, I love seeing that she bring in the community, and I think you guys should appreciate what Dr. Har is offering and doing for all of us. Yeah, this is really great. So that is my journey here. Also, yeah, next, sorry. Yeah, and talk about the activity that I do with the student. I also take the student to the conference in Texas. So it's like a South by Southwest conference. In my first year experience class, I also take 100 students to the Federal Reserve in Richmond with me. And I also like start the econ club, and right now is pretty good. Like there's so many students. It was dead before, and then I just revamped it, and like it's bringing the community for the economic student. Next one. Yeah, and this one is kind of like my baby here. So I start like a economic of tourism study abroad trip. And every summer I take 15 students with me to study abroad in Europe. So this year we went to Switzerland, Germany, France, and Switzerland and Spain, right? Yeah, okay, yeah. So we went there and it was great. I mean, he went with me for 3 weeks. This is James. Yeah. So I see students learn so much and they grow so much because some of the students in the group, they never leave the country, right? They never leave the United States and they have their passport for the first time. So seeing them experiencing new culture or culture shock for the first time, I love it. They're just like, oh my God, Dr. T, look at this. I was like, I love it. I love seeing that reaction. Yeah, so that's just it's a long story, but that I just want to start from high school so you know where I came from and why I made all those decisions throughout my life. And now I'm here and there's no regrets, even though there's a lot of tears bucket along the way. But I got here. Yeah. All right.
Reach out to Dr. T if you want to as well.
Yeah. So you guys have any question for me? It could be about the teaching experience or yeah, Matt.
Oh,
Oh, okay. I was like,
but I do kind of have a question on like the experience of teaching like 200 people
mm-hmm.
classes.
Yes.
Because well, my first question is like, what kind of support do you get here? Do you have like TAs? Do you have graduate students that help with the logistics of it? So on.
Yeah, so I will start with my graduate school then. In my graduate school, there's no resource at all. They say, Peach, teach 200 student class, go. That's it, nothing. You come up with your own textbook, slide, everything. Yeah, so I never have any resources to start with. And back then, I'm not sure if they do it here, but back then I have to take an English speaking test before I get to teach because they want to make sure that because I'm international, they want to test me, not that I can teach, but that I can speak English in front of the class. Yeah, so I have to go through that. But other resource, there's nothing there. But with here at Virginia Tech, I love it so much because now I also teach a graduate teaching workshop. So before our graduate student go teach, like we will assign them to teach in the summer. But we have a class for them to take first. It's called a graduate teaching workshop. So then they will go over like how to deal with the disability student, how to go through academic integrity. If you have a large class, what is the teaching strategy that we would recommend them do? Or like what resources that they can go get help with. Yeah, so we prep them with those courses before. And I think because nowadays teaching is very important and giving graduate students the opportunity to teach is now very important. That's why they start having this course offer. Yeah. Do you have to take that course? Is
Yeah,
it
so in the math department, there's like
Mhm.
a whole year of preparation
Oh.
to teach.
Uh-huh.
And so the first year you like run recitation sections, like discussion sections.
Yes.
But then by your third year, you're in charge of your own like Calc 1 or Calc 2
Mm-hmm.
section.
Yes. Yeah.
So there's that.
Uh-huh.
basically.
So do you run into any challenges when you teach the student?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you can share if you want.
Well, it's like we compare, yeah, I think people here are aware that like for Calc 1 and Calc 2, there are like many sections.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of statistics that come out of it, right? And so you can directly compare how well your class does with other people's classes and get a proxy for like, is the class actually going well
Ah,
or
okay.
not?
So it's actually so different with the economics department, because for economics department, we have different section. But do you have the same exam and the same? Yeah, for us, we have academic freedom. So anyone could use any textbook, anyone could have any exam. So that's why when you take Econ 2005, each section can be different. So it doesn't have to be the same. Yeah. Yeah, Gia.
So it was wonderful hearing all about your past from high school all the way through grad school and teaching. What's next for you in the next semester, year, 5 years, 10 years? Like what's on the horizon?
Oh, that's such a good question. Just like future goals or what I'm planning to do, right? I When I first came to Virginia Tech, I thought about that too, of like what can I contribute to the Virginia Tech? And my first goal is that I want to interact with students, because I think our econ department before is more of like teach, exam, done, teach, exam, done for the semester. So I want to bring in more experiential learning for the student, because I feel like after the COVID, that experiential learning community kind of faded away. So I want to bring that back to the class. So that's why when I first started at Virginia Tech, for the first year experience, I start bringing students to the Federal Reserve. I have a scavenger hunt activity for the students so that they communicate with each other. They work as a group. In 2005 class, I also do activity like the eating contest. You remember that? Eating
withdrawn at that point.
Oh, no.
News.
Yeah, but I did like a lot of in-class activity with the student. I bring in the study abroad. So I think the goal for the future year is that I'm trying to bring in more experiential learning. So because now I feel like after I teach first year experience, I see the students sometimes struggle with how to apply for jobs or where to actually looking for jobs. So I'm planning to prepare them more on that. So for example, I will take them to more like companies and get more connections and talk about like when to do internship. So now I start having like session where I bring in the alumni to come to our class and talk about when they started it and how did they actually like start getting internship opportunity or start to finding a job. So my goal in 5 to 10 years is to bring in a lot more experiential learning for the student so they can prepare for not only at Virginia Tech, but for their future. Yeah. And maybe the alumni club or something to bring them back for the econ student. Yeah. Yeah. Anything that I could do with student. Yeah. Cindy, right?
yeah.
Cindy. Yeah.
You've navigated a lot of like different changes throughout your life. Like you started off doing like the sciences and now you're like teaching econ. So I just wanted to ask what kind of advice you had for people who are like still figuring out what they want to do. Because I remember you were mentioning like, oh, is this really what I want to do? What was some things that helped you gain clarity or things of that nature?
My suggestions is to not just think that I should do it, but actually do it. So if you think that, oh, maybe I want to do finance, don't just think about maybe I should do finance or do this, just do it. Like go apply for internship and be in that role for a while just to see how you feel about it, because I feel like the way I navigate things is that I just do it. I just do all of it. And you know what? If it doesn't work out for me, at least I know I can cross that out. So I don't really do pick and choose. I do the elimination process instead. So I do everything and then I just gone. Yeah, but for some people, they have goals and they just go for it. But for me, I'm just like very scattered. Because I like to tell myself that I'm a duck. Like, is there a thing here that like you are the duck? Okay, okay. So in Thailand, we call ourselves a duck. A duck is the type of person who can do many things. You can swim, you can fly a little bit, you can walk a little bit, but you're not good at anything. Like, you are not the best at walking, you are not the best at swimming, you are not the best at flying, but you can do so many things. So I'm that duck. And this duck is trying everything I could and see what is your specialty. So I think that's how I figure out myself that like, yeah, I like to work with people. So then I trying to navigate through and I picked PhD and I was like, no research, okay, teaching, interact with people. So that's how I do it. Just do it. Yeah, because I think when you are so young, you have such a valuable thing called time. Yeah, time is very important. It's go by so fast. Once you're getting older, that is less and less and less for you. So now you have time, you can fail. Go fail. I I don't wish you to like do, I mean, if you do things and you success the first time, great for you. But I would recommend you do all the things and fail them, right? And at least now you know what not to do. Yeah, so that's what I recommend you do. Just go out and fail. And then you know that this is not it. Do something else, right? So yeah, I know that's a weird suggestion, but
I'll also add on to that. If you're
Yeah.
going to try something, then try something that will pay you a lot of money.
yeah, I talk to a lot of people. Like I have a guy in IMF. He worked in the IMF and he told me that at the beginning of his career, he just go for a job that gave him lots and lots and lots of money until at one point he just like, well, money is not important for me anymore. And then now he wants to give back. And now he's come back to Virginia Tech and he teach online class now for Virginia Tech. So like he worked so much. I think he was like work at the Wall Street before and he got so much money. He's super rich. And now he's just like, well, I don't need money anymore. I want to give back to the community. So yeah, that's what he did. Yeah. And
There's a question.
yeah, hi.
I'm Jenny.
Hi,
I'm
Jenny.
really curious about one thing,
Yeah.
because of this year, lots of classes actually, of course, are online.
Yes.
So actually, it's sometimes a little bit similar to the large classes.
Yes.
When you run the large classes, how to attract or make sure, check the status for most of the students?
Mhm.
And how to maintain this kind of bonds or interactions
Yeah, with the large class.
with large class?
So do you mean large class online or large class in person?
I think both may share some kind of experience. Well, now, actually, I'm desperately seeking some teaching experience and also trying to thinking about that.
Yeah, yeah. So let's talk about the in-person and online. They are so different because online you can do so much with the interaction, but luckily with the technology now you have the Zoom, the group, and I mean it's hard because if it's large class like 300, 400 students, you can't really do the separate group, right? But at least you still can do Kahoot or iClicker or something like that to make student move a little bit. It's still not gonna be as interactive as the in-person. But for the in-person class, what I do in class to keep them engaged, this semester I teach at 8 a.m. Yeah, so big class in the Squire Auditorium right here, 8 a.m. So what I do at 8 a.m., I play the K-pop Demon Slayer song. Yeah, I did that with the music video and the big screen. And they all like taking videos and send it to their parents and their friend, like, my professor turned on this song in the class. Yeah, and some of them just like, what the heck is this song? Like they never watched that movie, you know? But at least I spread out the culture there. So first you want to pump up the student for them to get ready for the class and bring them to class so that they see like, oh my God, this class is gonna be fun, right? And second, you have to switch your way of teaching every 15 minutes. Yeah. So I'm not sure what you are doing right now. In my class, I do lecture and then I do iClicker and then I do in-class activity. Like I have a think, pair, share where students have to work together and talk to each other. This way, because in large class, mostly there's like, don't talk to me. I'll be on my phone or on my computer. So I do think, pair, share so that they get to talk and discuss with each other. And then I also do in-class game. Yeah, so what class do you teach?
So actually, we do something like, verification or chips, and also do some very fundamental cognitive neuroscience classes.
Oh, that's fun.
We can run some experiments, like
Yeah,
people always overestimate it. So
Uh-huh.
because I clicker last student to vote, how many students consider they can be top, for example, 5%.
Uh-huh.
We have over 15% of students thought it can be top 5%. Then we showed up, this is how people.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so do you feel like using iClicker helps with the student interaction?
They still sleep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so in my class, we use iClicker, but I think in one of my class, I do games and I divide them into groups. And so each group will also get the extra credit if the representative win the competition. So that's kind of hype them up a little bit and make them like a challenge. So they actually yell in class, like stand up and yell in class and like eat more, because I do like eating contest in class. Yeah, so they are like very hype and they are very interactive. Yeah, so I think the energy that you bring in does reflect your student, especially at 8 a.m. So I usually go to 8 a.m. like, hey, everyone, good morning. Yeah, and after every iClicker, this is going to sound very cheesy, but if they answer it correct, I tell them to clap. I know it's weird. It is weird. They roll their eyes too. They was like, oh my God, do I really need to clap? But there will be some people in the class have a lot of energy and they'll be like this. And then the rest of the class will be like, okay. Yeah, but at least like it's bring up the energy and I can see more and more now. At first, it's gonna be very awkward, I'm telling you. But I tell them that, hey, you get it correct. Let's celebrate this. It's just you just have to bring a lot of positive energy into the class so that students see it. Yeah, if you go into the class with like, then they also replicate that energy. Yeah.
One
Yeah,
last
you're welcome.
question, sorry, one last question and then we gotta wrap it up.
Oh, I
because
was just gonna add on to that.
Yeah,
So
go
if
ahead.
someone
No,
has like
no.
a question.
Add on and then.
Okay, just as like an undergrad student,
Yeah.
and also I'm a bio major, so
Yes.
it's a lot of like big lectures and stuff. I found like the group activities definitely help a lot. Just like being able to like build those connections in your classes, especially when it feels like such like a daunting,
Yeah.
all these like random faces that I don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
But also I'm taking this art class this year and she's like a super like upbeat, like she's cheering all the time and stuff. And I think like I was so not used to that in a classroom setting.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
at first I was like, this is so weird, but then like the energy really does like extend over to you. And I think a lot of students would like really appreciate that change of like scenery, vibes kind of, just especially like coming from like lecture classes where it's like, okay, we're just sitting there, not really being engaged, and then finally being engaged and
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And another thing is with the large class, I know a lot of students are very shy. So whatever you ask them, they'll be like, don't look at me. Don't look at me, I'm not gonna answer. So what you could do is that as a class, like, who do you think this should happen? And then as a group, they tend to raise their hand more if it's not just themselves. And some of the question, I think you took my class before, you know, I like to pick on people.
Yeah.
Yes. So like in my class, even though in the large class, I believe that the student should not be treated as student A or student B. So I want to get to know them in person as much as I could, even though it's a big class. So I usually just like, hey, what's your name? Where are you from? Like, and I ask them to answer the question, right? And I told them that, hey, if you don't know the answer, that's totally fine, right? That's why you are here to learn. And if you don't know, you can say pass, and I'll ask you and your friend instead. Yeah, and I think that helped because they feel more comfortable answering during the class. And also people around them are just like, oh, so it's normal to get the answer wrong. It's fine, right? It's good to be wrong now than to be wrong in the exam or in the future. Yeah, so I would recommend try that. We can talk about it after because I want to learn more about what you're currently doing, so we can talk more about it. Yeah.
All right, for interest of time, thank you again, Dr. Katie. Really appreciate you, really good tips on teaching and learning, and also, one last question, how many countries have you been in?
Currently is 79. 79 countries. Yes.
Haven't you been?
Oh, many places. I still haven't hit half of the world yet. So I still have a long list to go to.
So ask Dr. Peach about all of her favorite places.
There's gonna be a lot and
Yes.
food.
And food. All right, thank you, everyone. Again, have a great rest of the day and weekend. And next week, by the way, from 11 to 1 will be homecoming on Friday. So we'll have spilling the tea, we'll have student panel. So come and check it out, and also free boba tea. And
Please make sure to fill out the other side of your evaluation.
Thank you.
Post evaluation.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming.